The windmill turned its last, and all was mute. The hush so recent birds still kept away. All trees beside the road were stripped of fruit, and footsteps proved no soul saw fit to stay. The temple fell some time before the rest. Foundations marked the place where priests once stood. Old houses bore new bricks with holy crests. Abandoned temple walls reused for good. Red tulips splashed those ghostly homes with blood, the gifts of yellow roses crushed beneath. Pragmatic hands would leave just sticks and mud, an empty home now nature's to bequeath. Forsaken in the shade of castle walls, a people fled in search of warmer halls. It is a wonder that they held so long. The priest beheld his legacy of dust. Perhaps my choice to serve my king was wrong. Come winter, I was all that they could trust. The cleric's wealth is never theirs alone. I drank and dined for free among the folk, accepted tribute from my crooked throne. I made the wealth of church and state a yoke that forced my whims and ways upon them all. Then when the king came looking for a priest, I did not even turn to see the fall. By absent hand, society deceased. Makera, why entrust your grace to me, a man who spurned the rest for apogee? Young Suhit watched the village still below. No light shone out at either dawn or dusk. I do not understand. Where did they go? Long days gone by made clear it was a husk. What have you done to chase our friends away? The princess pounded on her brother's door. There's no one else around who lets me play. I do not understand what my life's for. I do not understand who cares for me. I do not understand how friends are torn away, and I am told that I must be resigned to heartless bureaucrats' remand. There is so much I do not understand. There is too much I do not understand. By yellow rose I had the best of friends. Their days and mine were joyful intertwined. By tulip red, an agony of ends. If I'd confessed, what did I think I'd find? And now by flight I cursed their home to drown in seas of debt that they did not incur. They paid their tax each season to the crown, but had no priest or lord who could confer the distribution rightly owed them back for lives of loyal service to the land. My gifts were all that kept them from this track of wretched roads and open skies whose hand was dealt the day my father stole their faith. Are we a prince and king, or more a wraith? The river trickled slow across the rocks, betraying nothing of the floods it dealt that locals knew to mark against their clocks. The miller and her son, by chance, now dwelt a bank apart from other refugees. The flood had come before their chance to cross. The pair chose not to waste their time with pleas. Exposure's scythe would reap a heavy loss if all the rest delayed their chance to reach the sanctuary they'd lost homes to find. Bereft of choice, the pair trekked up the beach. No map or guide, their journey would be blind. They let the river's flow decide their path, and prayed for welcome by a friendly hearth. We have no need of millers or their sons. The trade was filled in every town they found. They did their best to scrape together funds. They learned there was a market to expound complaints in written words to send to those with power to enact a remedy. When all that kept the pair alive was prose, their journey stretched before them endlessly. There was no town that needed words so much that coin would flow enough to make a home. They kept the river close enough to touch. It set their path when they were forced to roam. They walked so long, the boy was now a man. but soon they'd reached the place new lives began. The travellers heard the cart and horse behind them on the road, so quickly stepped aside. "Now there's a sight I don't routinely find." The merchant stopped and stepped up off his ride. "I'd wager I've been told of you before. The miller and her son who wields a pen. The folk along the river all but swore their god had sent you out as middlemen. But in your place I would have sought a mill, and by that look I'd hazard that you are. I know a town that has a mill to fill, so hop on up, I'll take you in my cart." The merchant's kindness found them just in time. They'd almost planned for lifelong pantomime. The town sat on and by a mammoth bridge that spanned the waters bordering two lands. The merchant left his cart up on the ridge. The road into the valley needed hands to build it new, since rains had ripped it down upon itself alongside valley slopes. "This place is not protected by a crown, but walk for leagues you'll have no higher hopes." "How could a town like this have no defense? We've seen no other bridge for several days." The miller's son soon understood the sense. This border town was forced to pay both ways. The empty mill made all that worth their while. At last they had themselves a domicile. The former miller left in quite a state. "It's not that we cannot afford to live. It's more the stress of life that won't abate. The threat of war can be transformative in ways that press a toll upon the mind." The miller listened closer than her son, who puzzled over gearing unrefined. "I'm shocked an ancient mill like this can run." The miller looked at what her son had found. "You're right, this thing is almost an antique. Most merchants find a way to skip our town. They know their hopes to gain are fairly bleak. We rarely hear the ways our trades progress. I hope that will not make you reassess." "What happens if you're hurt beside the road? I'll always be too young to lose my son. I'm sure you'll learn to love our new abode. Your plan would see our journey's end undone." "I disagree. This is my journey's end. My literacy's a skill this town can use. No longer will they have to be content to wait until calamity ensues. There does not need to be calamity. I will not hide away in worlds gone by when I can foster brand new amity. If nothing else, I beg you let me try." The miller loathed to let him leave alone, but chose to trust he'd make the world his own.